Welcome to the 2-Minute Toolbox. Back in 1987, I attended my first religious science church, and Dr. Peggy Bassett was a senior minister. And she said something that got my attention. It kind of alarmed me. She said, hostile people live in a hostile world. Peaceful people live in a peaceful world. In what kind of world do you live? That was a twisting of Dr. Wayne Dyer's statement, loving people live in a loving world and hostile people live in a hostile world. Same world. That reminds me of a folk tale, a fairy tale. Centuries ago, a farmer was leaving his old village and looking for a new village. And as he approached the village gates, there was an elderly man sitting there. And when the elderly man saw the traveler approach, he stood up and said, "Welcome, how are you?" And the traveler said, "I'm looking for a new village. What are the people like in this village?" And the old man said, "What were the people like in your old village?" And he said, "Oh, those people were horrible. They didn't like me. They were rude. They were always trying to cheat me. They were always at my back." And the old man said, "Well, I'm sorry, son. You'll probably find the people here are exactly the same." And the traveler said, "Thank you." And he went on his way. A little while later, another traveler approached the same old man, and the old man stood up to greet him and said, "Welcome." And the newcomer said, "Hey, I'm looking for a new village. What are the people like here?" And the old man said, "Well, what were they like in your old village?" And he said, "Oh, they were wonderful and kind and generous, and we had collaboration." And the old man said, "You'll find the people here to be exactly the same. Welcome." That reminds me of something that is attributed to Anaïs Nin. She said, "We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are." So 3 things today. Hostile people live in a hostile world. Peaceful people live in a peaceful world. In what kind of world do you live? The second is, no matter where you go, you're going to find people to be exactly the same. And if you're not liking what you're seeing, the change needs to be internal. And thirdly, from Anaïs Nin, I don't see things as they are. I see them as I am, which really is a message for me. If I'm unsettled or not completely content with life as it is, it's up to me to do the inner work and watch the outside change. It works every single time. Let me know what you think. See you next week.